Hey, it's Katie Zane, and welcome to Zane's Anatomy. This is going to be a podcast where I talk about the show Grey's Anatomy, but also my life. It is a bit like a diary mixed with a television review. I'm not really sure. It's an introspective about Grey's Anatomy, but again, it's called Zane's Anatomy, so it will be about my life. Just to give a brief overview, this is my introduction video. So this is the introduction to the introduction. I will be discussing Grey's Anatomy at length and in detail, but also my personal life and my personal struggles as they applied to the timeline of Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy came out in 2005 when I was 21 years old and had just moved to California. And there are different points in my life, in the 17 seasons that Grey's Anatomy's been on the air, where Grey's Anatomy has been quite simply my therapist. It's been there for me through every major mental health breakdown I've been through, and through every major adult decision I've made for 17 years. I was lucky in the fact that this show came out when it did, and has been these characters that I have grown up with. Meredith Grey feels like this skinny friend that I'm kind of jealous of, who's smarter than me. And I have watched this fictional character grow and change and go through therapy and become a full adult, just like myself. I've watched the actress who plays her, Ellen Pompeo. I've watched her age gracefully and become an incredible and extraordinary doctor on the show and an actress, and be a showrunner, a female showrunner on a show without a male lead. And it was one of the first in history. When Derek Shepherd died on the show in season 11, she became one of the very first prominent female leads without a male lead ever in television. One of the big reasons why Grey's Anatomy is so important to me is that it has had a lot of firsts in TV. I've been passionate about television since I was a child. I'm a product of the 80s. I was born in 84, and my father basically raised me in junior film school. And so I've been basically analyzing and breaking down characters and storylines and how shows are made since I was about 6 years old. And Grey's Anatomy is just one of those special shows. I don't think that a lot of people in the beginning gave it the time that it deserves. Grey's Anatomy is a nighttime soap opera. Okay, so that doesn't seem like the type of show that's going to be a major support in someone's life. But because of the brilliance of the evolution of writing, that was a lot of word salad. But basically, because words are evolving and changing and the world evolved and changed, the show has been on since Bush was president. Bush and Obama and Trump have all been president. And now Biden, while this show has been on the air, just to give you an idea of the prolificacy of this television show and just how much time it has exactly spanned. It is a show that started out with these cheesy storylines and these romantic plot twists that were very tropey and predictable. And it has evolved into this show where they are tackling major issues currently in the current season. They're tackling COVID, and they are doing it with so much grace, and they are honoring the truth of this real thing that's happening to us and giving us this hope through the show, and also the real harsh realities of this pandemic are being explored in the show. So while I do this podcast, I will be giving trigger warnings, and I will be giving content warnings and all kinds of information about what might be coming up in the episodes, because Grey's Anatomy does cover a lot of topics. Sometimes they cover those topics extremely well. Sometimes they don't cover them well. And like I said, the show has had such an evolution in its writing that you really can't compare the series as a whole. It's I like to call different chunks of it. There is different phases in Grey's Anatomy, which I will discuss in further videos, where between seasons 1 and 5, it is one kind of show. And then from season 6 to season 10, it is one kind of show. And then from season 11 to the current season, it is another kind of show. And another thing that's happened on the show is that the writing room, you can see the transition of how writing and television got the standards of television went up while this show was on the air. And so they had to change without ruining what they already had. And they did that through punch-up writing and humor and bringing in some actors to really bring out those characteristics. And some of this might not mean anything to you, but I really want to explore and talk about how this television show is more than a TV show. And it's more than just these actors. It is more than this universe that Shonda Rhimes has created. She is a Black creator and has really cemented herself and made this mold that other shows can look at and go, you know what? We need to do what they're doing. Because they talk about real things. They talk about real things in real time because the show takes place in real time. And like I said, they're tackling COVID and they have tackled all kinds of other issues. One of the most recent crossover plots was about human trafficking, which is a real problem in this country. They also were tackling how there are 70,000 Black girls who are missing and no one's talking about it. And I think when a show can talk about real things and you don't feel like you're watching Lifetime, that's special. And we need to talk about it more. And I just want to reach as many people as I can with my passion about this show and about what it talks about and what it's meant to me. So I really hope that you enjoy the future videos. They will not be as loose as this one. They will be a little slightly more scripted. And we'll have caption videos on as I go through each season. The structure of this podcast, it'll be approximately 17 episodes long, save for this intro video. And each episode will probably be about 45 minutes. And I will be delving into each season and my personal life as it parallels to the show. So hopefully I see all of you tuning in and we can enjoy Grey's Anatomy together and get to know a little bit about Zane's anatomy.